Friends, we are back. So I am gonna restart this vlog. I'm not even gonna restart it. I just was gonna do a whole vlog where I was having a spinner wheel choose my reads, and then that prompt ended and I really didn't read anything for it. So I'm gonna attach as much footage as I had. We are still doing pages right now, so I'm gonna let past Laura take you away, and then current Laura is gonna come. We're gonna chat about where we are in the book because I read a little bit more of it. But I'm gonna be honest, my heart was set on reading this book for a different vlog, and I had to finish this, so I just finished this. Now I can come back to the book that I chose for the spinner wheel, but we are gonna go to future Laura. She's gonna take you away, and then we'll come back when we are ready to start the vlog again. Bye, book friends. Hey, so we are, sorry, my voice is a little bit chopped because I haven't been talking. But let's see, what spinner wheel are we gonna do? Are we gonna do my recently purchased spinner wheel, or are we gonna do my ARC spinning wheel? Because either are very exciting. Okay, we're gonna do the ARC spinning wheel. Yay. Okay, so there's a lot of things on here. I update this ARC spinning wheel whenever I get it like an e-arc or something. So like, yeah, or if any physical arcs get sent to me, or any of my arcs I got from conventions. So there is a lot on here. There is 255 things on here. So yeah, let's spin and see what it's gonna be. There's a lot on here. I have to make sure my Kindle's charged, unless it's a physical arc that I have. Ooh, Curse Keeper by Alexandra Christo. Okay, so that will be that. I will attach a photo of that book here. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to pick an audiobook, and I'm just going to choose the place I'm going to find the book from. Okay. Hoopla and Libby. Okay. So let me go make that spinner wheel. So I'm going to have to go put all the books on there. There's actually not a lot on there that I'm actually not currently reading. I'm in the middle of a couple. All right, so let me go get all those books on a spinner wheel, and then we'll come back. I did wind up putting everything on the spinning wheel, including one of the graphic novels I have, and that is a Babysitter Club graphic novel. I might just read that first because it is so short, so I may just read that book first regardless, because it's only like a 14-day hold. So I may actually just try to read that at some point today, but I'm trying to get it to be picked. Okay, so we're going to read Charmed and Dangerous by Shelley Page. Okay, so I will attach a photo of that book here. And I am going to go start Curse Keeper by Alexandra Christo. It's a pretty big book. I don't know how far I'm going to get today, and it's definitely, my parents are not home because my dad is having surgery today, which means I don't anticipate a bike ride in my future today. Maybe, we'll see. But I'm going to go start Curse Keeper, read about 25%, and then give you guys an update. Just know I really do want to go back to read this for my other vlog, but you have to follow the escape rules. So I will talk to you guys when I have an update, hopefully when I read about 25%. Bye, book friends. Hey, book check-ins, I am back. I did wind up reading a little bit today, so I got 25% into The Curse Keepers by Alexandra Christo. I really need to bring this camera back to work, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it tomorrow. But I am liking this. It's a book that doesn't come out until November, so I'm probably going to try to keep this as spoiler-free as possible. This is Alexandra Christo's first adult book that she's written. I have a lot of older YA titles that I just haven't got around to, but this follows a main character named, oh dear, what's her name? Our main female character, and she works for the library, and basically in this library the books hold curses, and you basically have a bunch of different like people, like there's like fae and there's like vampire like characters, and she's kind of on guard with her brother, and her mother is known as a traitor, so people are a little bit hesitant. They have different moms. So her main character is always kind of under a microscope because her mother was a traitor. And then they were going out partying one night, they come back, and basically the library is decimated, and she has to team up to work with a demon to kind of figure out what happened in here to find these missing books. And if they find out that she's conversing with the demon, things will go awry. I'm really liking it. It's definitely reading a little bit YA to me right now, but I like YA books, so I'm never going to see that as like a bad thing. I like the characters. It's very, very action, plot focused with enough character growth. There is also that like betrayal element and political vibes. It's also a very, very strong magic system. So I'm having a super fun time with it. I also read about 10% of Charmed and Dangerous, but I didn't listen to enough. And honestly, I'm listening to so many audiobooks right now. I really should not start a new audiobook, and I should go back and finish the other ones, but then I can't count them for pages. So yeah, the goal right now is to try to read another 25% tonight. I do have to go back to work tomorrow. Long Island Railroad strike is over. Yay! So I can go back to work tomorrow, which is exciting. Because we're really heading to the end of the year. We have like maybe like 1 full week of school, like day off wise. So yeah, and this was supposed to be a full week for me, but it did not turn into that because of everything happening. So that is where we are. But I'm gonna go read another 25% of this and try to get an update. But honestly, I really want to go try to read it, but I can't. So yeah, that is the danger. I think definitely if they keep these vibes, my dog is barking. They keep this vibes, I think I'm definitely going to try to read shorter books for the role prompts, and I just didn't think of that, and everything that I'm pulling is like 400 pages. So I'm going to read a little bit more, and I'll talk to you guys when I have an update. Maybe even tomorrow. Bye, book friends. Hi dragons, I am back. I just want to do a quick update. I'm back for this vlog. So this is Memorial Day weekend, which means we have a lot of reading time. But I do have some updates back to the previous. So I was filming this vlog during the school week, and that week was just rough. It was a rough week. So I really didn't wind up physically reading a lot, and then the book I was in the middle of, Curse Breaker, for my random read vlog, kind of got put on the back. Curse Keeper, sorry. So currently I am about 51% into this book. I have not logged it for pages because I'm frightened that I will log it for pages and then I can't use it for the prompt. So I'm gonna wait to see if I can get to 75%, and then I'll probably log it for pages. But like, where it's not looking good that this book's gonna count. So I'm trying to wait to see what the prompt is, but we will see. But I am enjoying this. To be honest, it reminds me a lot of Shadow Reaper, which is one that I read from my other vlog. So I'm getting a little bit of the stories a little bit mixed up in my head. But this book follows a main character who was a librarian apprentice, and their job is to kind of like watch all of the curses and such like that in this world. And she goes out with her brother. They're also very like watched because her mother was like a traitor. And she comes back and the entire library has been like attacked. Her brother is taken, and she kind of has to team up with a fae to kind of figure out what's going on and try to get her brother back. And she's basically dealing with that. And I'm about 51% into, but I am enjoying it. I do like Alexandra Christo's writing. Like, I've always liked it. So I want to keep reading. So yeah, I'm about 51% into it right now. And I'm enjoying it. It does I'm like, just because I was reading both books at the same exact time, I feel like my enjoyment, or I'm like mixing up details because the character situation is a little bit similar in both of them. They're not identical. Like, this is obviously a very different story, but I am enjoying it. So I'm gonna try to get up to 75% tonight. Tomorrow we're supposed to go into the city. Also, I think I'm gonna soft DNF Charmed and Dangerous. I will attach a photo of that book here. Brewed with love and really struggled with it. I felt really disconnected from the characters, and I ultimately physically read it, and I really was like, you know what, I'm gonna give the audio a shot, and I'm really not enjoying it. I might bring it with me to the city tomorrow and see if I can get any farther, or maybe see if like a prompt will work. I have counted that for pages, so I really can't use it for a prompt, but I am not enjoying that book as much as I was hoping to. So yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna listen to. I might just like wait it out. I did start another audiobook, Heiress of Nowhere by Stacey Lee, but I don't know what the next prompt is gonna be, so I'm gonna wait. But I would like to read about 25% more of this book and just kind of get back into the story. I read about 10% more, and they're in a very different environment than the first half of the book. So I will say this about me: I hate like putting a book down and coming back to it which is why readathons like Escape and Amazing Readathon are really, really fun. But they're sometimes just a little bit like problematic. I think this readathon has been the most problematic for me, or more struggling for me, because you have to like read books for things. So like you could read it for pages, you could kind of for a prompt, you can't do both. And like from times, like because I read so slowly, I feel like I read slowly, it might hinder my enjoyment a little bit of it. But I do want to keep reading this. I am having a fun time with it, so that is what I'm going to go do. I'm going to go read hopefully to 75%, and then I'll give you an update. It may be tomorrow morning before I head out. I should probably pack as well, but I'm not in the mood to do that. So yeah, that is where we are. But I'm back. I'm kind of free falling right now a little bit, because I don't know if we're going to get a new prompt, and that's why I'm kind of waiting for pages to see. But yeah, I do have a lot of things on my TBR as well, so we will see if something gets switched out. This book does come out in November as well, so I don't want to like talk too much about it because it's really like an early copy. So yeah, I will talk to you guys when I have an update, hopefully when I hit 75%, or if the prompt drops and I have to switch my book. So I'll see you guys, whichever happens first, 75% or a prompt, we will see. Hey Book Dragons, I'm back. It's Sunday. It is a disastrous day, so we canceled our city trip, which I think is actually a good idea. But we did wind up opening up another room, but I can use the book I was in the middle of reading. That's why I didn't submit my pages, because I didn't want to run into a problem that we encountered last time when I was reading too many books. And I paused my audiobook because I didn't know what the book prompt was going to be. So the prompt we're reading is a place you haven't been before. So I'm going to count Curse Keeper by Alexandra Christo, because I'm like, at this point, I'm like 77% into that book, and that will count because I have not been to the Fae Realms, unfortunately. Or maybe fortunately. I am liking this book. I do think this book, like Shadow Reaper, suffered a little bit from my elongated time reading it. I think it's also very similar to Shadow Reaper, like very similar. So maybe that's why I'm struggling a little bit to kind of keep the story separate. But I am liking it. Elevated Spice, I will say that. It's a very, very interesting concept. I'm liking all the books, but I'm feeling a little bit disconnected from the characters. And that may have just been the length of me reading it. I really do have to kind of figure out my Amazing Readathon TBR, but I think I'm going to do that a little bit later when I do have my audiobook. I am listening to the next Beekeeper Mystery Series because I have never been to Colorado. I will attach a photo of that book here. I do have prompts that I'm going to kind of pull from. I have shelves back here. You can't really see them because I'm short. But they have books that have been on my TBR for so long. So I think I'm going to kind of make that be a goal. We also have books that have been on your TBR for about a year. That's like one of my prompts. And I went to ALA last year, and I'm going back to ALA at the end of June. So I want to add a couple of those. I also know that when I do Amazing Readathon, I want to read short books under like 300 to 350 pages is my sweet spot. And I tend to listen to a lot of romances and cozy mysteries. So at some point today, I am going to go do that. I'm also kind of looking at my library holds. You really can't predict when you're going to get your library holds. I am also watching The Deal, the off-campus series, and I really might just dive in and pick up one of those books. So you don't really know, but I am liking Curse Keeper. I'm feeling a little bit disconnected. Right now it's probably going to be a 3.75 star read, and I probably will reread this when it comes out in November. I may try to get an ARC when I go to ALA and just try to reread it, but I am enjoying it. So I'm going to come back when I am done with this book. Right now it is 10:31, so we're going to see how long that takes me. And then I'm going to choose another book to read, which is going to be interesting because I think at this point I'm going to kind of stick with the theme, which means it's probably going to be a fantasy book that's on my TBR. So I will come back when I have an update for you, hopefully soon. Bye, book friends. Hey, Book Dragons! I am back. I just want to do a bit of a book haul. I did wind up getting my Fairy Loot in, so if you don't want to see the May Fairy Loot, then turn away. At least I think this is May. We have Deathbringer by Sonja Tajiri, which is a adult fantasy book. They're always a little bit romantic-y, to be very honest. I'm not sure how you differentiate because I've definitely gotten books that feel a little bit more romantic-y. And then I also got Stormbreaker by Nisha J. Tooley, which is a YA book, which I am going to sell this one on Pango because I do like my other copy from Owl Crate a little bit better. And now I finished Curse Keeper. I'm gonna give that book 3.75 stars. I liked it. I think that I suffered between when I was reading Shadow Reaper and when I was reading the other book, this one, because I felt like I was reading them over the course of a little bit of time, and I just struggled. This book doesn't come out till November. It is entirely possible when I go to ALA I will get a physical copy and I will just reread it in November. I really liked the world. I thought the characters were interesting, but I felt like Shadow Reaper and Curse Keeper were a little bit too similar, and I was reading them together and I kept getting the details mixed up. That's a me issue, that's not a you issue. But now I don't know what to read next. So the prompt we're in the middle of, we have to read a book that is from a setting that we have not been to. So I am going to read the first chapter of To Drown a Witch by Lindsay Olson. This comes out in July. This is a fantasy book. I'm also going to read the first chapter of An Embroidery of Souls. And then I'm going to read the first chapter of Her Hidden Fire. And whatever book I feel like I want to stick to, I just am, because all of these are YA. And I'm definitely more in my YA era than anything else. So I'm going to read a chapter of each and read the little author's notes and see which ones I wind up wanting to stick with. And then I'll come back with you when I have made that decision. But I normally would like to read like 100 pages of each, and that will kind of be my decision. Okay, I'll come back when I have thoughts for you all. Bye. Friends, it's a Monday. It's Memorial Day. I am back. I did wind up making it significantly way through off campus, so I'm like on episode 4. I'm gonna go watch the rest of it today. And I did wind up getting up to, I actually chose my book. I didn't wind up reading the other chapters because I had a feeling every book I wanted to read I was probably going to want to read it, and I was going to be struggling. So I decided to just power through, and I read the first 117 pages of An Embroidery of Swords by Ruby Martinez. This book is set in a location that I don't know of, like I have never been, so it's a magical world, obviously, but there is some Mexican and German lore kind of connected, and it just kind of gives me the vibes of like a Mexico City. I don't know why, I'm just saying. So I have never been to Mexico, so that's why I'm counting this for that prompt. But I'm really enjoying this. It came out September of last year and didn't get nearly enough love and attention, I don't think. But it's just like it's a very interesting reversal of like fortunes for our two main characters. So the main character named Jade, and she's dealing with a lot of anxiety. She's a very, very anxious person. Her mother has gone missing, and basically she's a she can manipulate souls. She could stitch beauty. She can kind of kill people. It's very, very dangerous. Her mother has gone missing. And before, like as her mother was going missing, there was also a murders around town. And she kind of winds up teaming up with this young boy named Lucas, who Lucas kind of goes to the crime dealer of this city, the syndicate, and winds up asking how can he help his family. And his task, had the same task, to kind of take down this murderer. And the one thing I love about this book from Jade and Lucas is it's kind of a reversal of fortunes. You have Jade, who's very like rich and has a lot of money due to her mother's position in town. And then you have Lucas, who is very, very low class, doesn't have a lot of money, is kind of struggling to survive with him and his mother and his brothers and his sisters. And it's kind of a reversal of fortune, because normally when you have a story like this, it's always the boy that is high class and the girl is always low class. And like you kind of have very, very similar conversations. Also, our Jade is dealing with a lot of anxiety. So the first part of it is they have basically uncovered who they think the murderer is. And the second part, I think they're going to go investigate. They're both on a timetable. Like they both have like a shorter timetable to figure out what's happening. I think Jade has 30 days before she has to take over her mom's job. And Lucas is on a timetable from the crime boss. So I'm really liking this. I'm about 114 pages in, and I just want to keep reading. And I'm really happy I finally picked this book up because it's been on my shelf for a very, very long time. I also did last night, I filmed my June TBR. I'm also listening to I'm like 19% into my B book. I'll attach a photo of that book here. I haven't listened to enough. I'm not even at the killer yet, so I don't even know who's murdered yet. But it's the same series that I started this month, and I've never been to Colorado. So I will probably listen to that probably through today and tomorrow when I head back to work, and then we're off Wednesday. So yeah, but my goal is to read 200 pages of this today. So I would like to get up to part 4. So get up to 304 before the end of today. And I would love to finish this book today, but we will see because I like to be ahead on things. So yeah, I'm going to go watch Off Campus. I'm going to go watch a few videos and I will come back when I have an update for you. But this is a really, really solid book. I'm happy that I picked it up. I'm more excited now to go back and read the other like books on my TBR that I haven't read yet that were from that event. So, all right, I will talk to you guys soon. Bye, book friends. Hey, book dragons, I am back. I'm definitely going to see if I could take this camera in and see if I could get the settings like a little bit better because I think it's a little bit off. But I did wind up, and we also opened up a room, which means I'm now reading for pages. My goal is I want to get up to part 3 and then I'm going like into part 3 and then I'm going to submit my pages. But I did wind up getting a little bit more into Embroidery of Souls. I also went for a bike ride, so I listened to a little bit more of my audiobook. And yeah, I'm really liking this. This book is so refreshing. I feel like when you read YA books or, you know, like romance-focused fantasy books in general, you typically get a lot of like very traditional character roles. Like, it's always the boy that is high class. It's always the boy that's keeping secrets. And this is sort of very opposite of that. It's very much the girl is high class, the girl is keeping secrets. And you really do feel for both characters because they're going through quite a bit. There's also a lot of mental health representation in this book as well, which makes it would be great for the Amazing Readathon next month. It does have a lot of interesting lore and stuff in it, and I'm just really liking it. I want to keep reading it, which is good. I've had this book on my TBR for so long, and no one has talked about it. I think it has like 230 reviews, but I'm really, really liking this book, like quite a bit. I think that it's very, very refreshing. It's very, very different. It's very, very quick paced. So yeah, I'm really quite liking this and I want to keep, it's probably gonna be like a 4 or 5 star read for me. It does it does have different parts and every part is like a different bit of it, but I am really, really liking this one quite a bit. And then I wound up getting up to about 45% in my honey book. This setting on my camera sucks. I'm gonna have to fix that, I'm sorry. But the murder did occur and this is finishing this series, which is great. I really do like her writing style, so having a fun time with that. It's very, very quick, and I'm just gonna kind of power through and finish that book, and then we'll kind of check back in. Tomorrow is a teacher day, so we're teaching, and then we're off Wednesday, so I hope I can get a lot of listening done tomorrow. It's my day where I teach the fewest classes, like if we go by my schedule, but with all like the teachers out tomorrow, I anticipate not having a lot of periods off. So we will see. We will see how that shakes itself out. But I'm going to go read part 3. Hopefully I'll be able to get to part 3 before I go to work today. That would be great. But if not, I'll just give you an update tomorrow. Bye, book friends. Dragons, I'm back. We are off today, so I do have a little bit of time to update you. Yesterday, I actually got a lot of reading done. So yesterday, I finished reading my B book. I'm going to attach a photo of Be Killed, I think. I'll attach a photo of that book. Here. Hey friends, I'm back. I just want to do a couple of quick updates because I did wind up reading a bunch of things and I don't know how long this vlog is going to go. So, like audiobook wise, I finished my B book. I will attach a photo of that book here. This book, I gave this book 4 stars. I'm really hopeful that we will get more. I haven't heard a lot about it because it's just like not a finished series. The finished series is finished and there's no plans to have like another book. But we did leave off with some breadcrumbs. That the mystery was really, really fun. I like the small town family dynamic, which was really very fun. And then this morning, because I'm off on Wednesday because it's a holiday, I wound up finishing An Embroidery of Souls by Ruby Martinez. I got this last year at ALA and I never picked it up. It's been on my priority shelf and I love this book. I'm going to give this book 4 stars. I think that it's a reversal of a lot of the tropes that I was chit-chatting about. I think every section is a little bit different. You have a male-female character that is like more high class than the male. I really liked both of them and it was a fun read and I gave this book 4.5 stars. I really hope this, I don't see that she's having another book come out, but also the mental health representation in this, like the other elements were really, really strong as well. So this might be it for this vlog. I may cut it. I may come and say, hey, we're going to end this vlog. But I just want to say that is what we're reading right now. So now I'm going to go see if I'm going to continue this vlog or if I'm going to come and wrap it up. But I want to see how long it is. So I will be back soon for another update. Bye, bye, friends. Book Dragons, I am going to wrap up this vlog. Thank you guys for watching. We are going to head into my final escape vlog next. So make sure you stay tuned for that. And I hope you like the pretty background now that we're heading into summer. Bye, book friends.